Fantastic. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this Instagram Live. We're going to have Travis Knights joining us in a couple of minutes. And I'm really happy to get a chance to actually pick up the conversation with him that we started on the 23rd. Hey, nice to see you, Pip. And I'm going to invite back Travis Knights, who is the curator for this first episode of Golden Hour. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Anthony. It's nice to see you here. I'm going to just, yeah. Wow. So as soon as Travis can join us, we're going to start this conversation. So my name is Dian Marie-Bridge, and I'm the Associate Artistic Director at the Luminato Festival. And Golden Hour is a project that we started this year with the focus on the artists who are local to Toronto. I think we have some just amazing talent in this city. It is also an artist curated series. So the intention of that is to have the artists that we are working with at Luminato introduce us to their larger extended groups of people, because cool people tend to know really cool people, people who are doing things that are pushing their own artistry. And I welcome Travis and his connections to not only the dance community, but just his ability to think beyond the box a little bit in terms of how we question who we are as artists and how we push through the times that we're living in as well. I see Travis is actually here, and yes, I'm going to go live. Fantastic. Okay. Hi, Travis.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. I see both of us are wearing our scarves because
It's springtime.
Back down.
Yeah,
Winter. Well, spring in Canada, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us again. Last time it was like poetry. You were about to say something. I think you started saying, you were like, I am not okay. I am not okay. And then you froze.
That was actually my wife's favorite part. She loves it when I, just cut it off. Cut it off, Travis. We know you were long-winded. How are you today?
I'm okay. It's been a hectic spring so far. One thing I wanted to just say I'm very thankful for, the powers that be have allowed us to extend Golden Hour on the NEAM platform for another 2 weeks.
Wonderful.
So it's going to be up until the middle of May. So for folks who haven't had a chance to watch it yet, I strongly urge you to just go online and spend a good 45 minutes with some really beautiful artists that, Travis, you have the privilege of introducing us to.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
The privilege is the perfect word. It's a hot button word. It's a word that is losing meaning, I think, over time. But privilege is the appropriate word. When you gave me this opportunity to call out some of my favorite people, it was just kind of a dream come true. It was a pleasure.
Fantastic. Well, with that being said, I wanted to kind of just ask you, in terms of the artists that you chose, how did you go about choosing them? How did you go about curating this episode? Essentially, I gave you a question.
Yeah.
What is Canada?
Mm-hmm.
And you chose to answer it in a really specific way. And I just kind of wanted to tap into your brain a little bit about how you chose to do that.
Okay, so listen, it's just you and me, right, Diane? So as you well know, it's gone through a lot of different iterations, and it was a lot of the decision making was based on what I felt I was able to do, or the artist would be able to do with what we had to work with, so to speak. There were a couple of ideas that we can't talk about here, but I'm still excited for them.
Yeah.
Figure out how to make that work, because yes, all day, yes. But in terms of the artists that I chose. These are just people that spoke to me, spoke to my heart. I love their work and love their approach to the work. The episode starts out appropriately with one of the sweetest people I've met in this life, Marcus Jackman, otherwise Mark
Yeah.
Aurelius. Yo, he has a new song coming out tonight, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on all platforms. It's called Carnival. I can't wait. It's fantastic.
Please share that with me later and we can
for,
pump it out on socials.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic artist, fantastic singer, and just this sweet, giving heart, and the things that he brought forward in Golden Hour. It was just honest, and I think that's the best
Oh,
word I can describe it as. Yeah,
there were some really beautifully candid moments, not only with Marcus, but with all of the artists. I just trust that that is an extension of the relationship that you have with them, but also that they chose to trust us in order to present that to the world. It was just gorgeous.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. Nitya Garg, this fantastic dancer, Bharatanatyam dancer. Been a fan of Bharatanatyam for a while. It's classical Indian dance, and it's so specific. I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it. But please know that it's said out of complete ignorance. I see it as kind of, this is why I'm like uncomfortable with it, but kind of the polar opposite of what I do. As a tap dancer, personally, we pride ourselves on improvisation. We pride ourselves on drawing from our experience and responding to the moment. It is insanely difficult, and I've literally dedicated my life to that practice. In contrast, Bharatanatyam is very specific, highly choreographed. It's storytelling. It's linguistic. Tap dance is also linguistic, and so this is where we're coming up with the flaw in my idea of this being polar opposites. It's just a different approach, and
Yeah.
I wanted that idea. I wanted that visual. I wanted that aesthetic to be represented, because when you go anywhere else in the world and say Canada, they're not thinking Bharatanatyam, but these are people that compose the richness of what we all are privileged to live among, to live with. So Nithya Garg is giving us that flavor. And we closed out the show with
Jonathan.
Daniel Morin. Yeah. Okay. So
Wow.
how do I? So because he's a tap dancer, I'm a nerd for the dance, so I have a lot to say about this gentleman. I've known him for a while now, like over a decade at least. He's a tap dancer, so it's a pretty small community. A lot of tap dancers, but it's a pretty small community once you get into the nitty gritty of it. You know, there are a lot of tap dancers, a lot of tap dance enthusiasts, but
Yes.
the dancers, the people that are dedicated to the craft of it, that are insane about it. That's a small community, and Jonathan Morin is I don't want, in my opinion, that's not my opinion doesn't do justice to what I'm about to say. He is one of the finest tap dancers in this country, in Canada, and he gave of himself in a way that I'm still affected by, and it makes me shake in my body. You know, when I asked him to write about, you know, his thoughts, who is Canada, what he gave, made me cry. It made me cry. You know, he has indigenous heritage and no connection to indigenous culture, and there is a century plus of history of
Yeah.
in Canada as to why that is. And for one of my contemporaries to speak in a way that I'd never heard him speak before, it was this opportunity, it was this provocation that allowed me to ask him to open up in a specific way. And yeah, I was really impressed. Impressed is the wrong word. Grateful for what he shared, because I feel like I grew as a person And I look forward to pursuing a lot of things with these specific artists. I have to say something, Luminato. It's this name that rings bells across all a lot of people within Toronto, within Canada, and we had, you know, just like with many, most all institutions, institutions in Canada, everybody's like scrambling to figure out, how do we respond to the moment? How do we be? How do we respond to the moment? And we had a specific amount of resources and a specific amount of time dedicated to this project.
Yes.
And I respect that. However, the richness that lies within Jonathan Morin, for example, Nithya Garg, and Marcus Jackman, you can mine that richness for a lot more, but it requires time and resources. So guess what I did? You're talking to Mr. Rebel, because I don't it needs to be not Rebel.
Wait.
Best. Yeah, go on.
Well, I was just going to say that the focus for myself as the creative director of the project is that this is literally an introduction. This is the beginning of a relationship. This is hey Toronto, hey Canada, check out these folks who you might not know. And definitely, this is the starting place of building a much deeper relationship with folks. And with yourself as well. I mean, you and I met less than a year ago as, in an interview process that was just kind of like, what are you offering me? What's going on? Yeah. And in terms of responding to the moment, that's exactly what that was, right?
So I was so enriched. The introduction is a great way to perhaps that. So I was so enriched, but really provoked by what these specific artists said. But guess what? I know everybody and their mother has written a Digital Now grant. I sat down and started. I was and am obsessed. Their stories, I feel like they need to be told, and it's not just because I respect them as artists and what they do with their craft and their dedication. No. I think that telling their story from their perspective, with enough time and resources, can help the country. It can help the culture. It can help people see beyond the rhetoric that, the media. I feel like we're very polarized these days, but good work, honest work, that honest storytelling that's shared with people, I think it can really knock down borders and help to change this society in a way that is necessary.
It's interesting. I literally this morning had a meeting where we were talking about the arts and the function of the arts and culture. And I remember hearing once someone saying that if you want to learn a new language, you approach it by listening to the music and and reading the poetry in that language, because the arts is the first ambassador of a culture and of a people. And in a day where, arts and culture has become content filler for socials, like, this is a fantastic form to get information out. But in COVID, where we're all, reduced to putting our art on these screens, the idea that your work is now just content that lives there for the, duration of the time that you're allowed to keep it up, a month long, or it's only there for a weekend or whatever, I think has impacted the work that we do. And I feel like we're trying to mine the soul of it again. We're trying to get back to, why are we doing this? Why is the art essential? What are we saying about the people who are creating it? What situations are they in right now? And especially with with people leaving the industry because they actually can't afford to be an artist anymore. And that's one of the reasons why I love the fact that we're able to offer opportunities to artists to not only show their work, but show aspects of their life and the rituals that they use and how they live. Can you talk to me a little bit about the inspiration to have the black and white footage or the home footage?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm a nerd. That's what it is. So what I mean is I love film, and I'm thinking as you were speaking, content, calling it content, time. It's time specific, so it's time locked, and then it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, I'm born in '83, so I came up with this love for film, right? Love it. The storytelling changed my life. I understand the world largely through film and stories, just like everybody, really, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you read books, listen to music, it's all this narrative that helps us make sense of the world. And so it's just a convention in a lot of films. If you want to tell a story non-linearly, an easy way to explain that to the audience is to interject black and white, and it takes them out of the present, and you go, oh, well, this is a different scene, but it's still talking about the same subject. So I just added that. I think that was like a technical response. It wasn't anything poetic or anything.
No, but one of the things that we talked about was the idea of having established rituals
Yeah,
that each artist maintains,
sure.
even in COVID, just in order to kind of keep their artistry going and like their mental health functioning. And yeah, if we didn't have, that space to roll around on the floor,
Yeah,
or just having access to our bodies in the way that we did pre-pandemic.
yeah.
Yeah, it was just like I just wanted to hear you talk a little bit about the exploration of ritual.
I guess once again, in a honest, flawed way. I'm sorry to say flawed. Um, I had a New Year's resolution in 2020 to stop self-deprecating, and it's still it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
It's something that I wanted. It's something that I needed. I wanted to see their approach to their practice. I wanted to see their coping mechanisms, their day-to-day relationship with the thing, because I, um, yes, I'm practicing. Yes, I'm being the best father that I can be. Yes, I'm trying to, but I am not. It is difficult, and that's an understatement. It's a difficult time. Um, I found myself, the day after the Derek Chauvin verdict, for example.
Yes. Yeah.
I was on a call, on a Zoom call, trying to figure out this next project, and I full out started weeping. And it's not, we're all doing the best that we can, but not everybody's able to make space for that, and it's not necessarily appropriate. And what is appropriate these days? Who knows? We're sort of reinventing the wheel, and it's not something that I have control over. When I say I'm a nerd, I mean it. I have a podcast called the Tap Love Tour podcast. I have not been able to engage with the podcast because it's a part of my narrative, and I now feel protective of my narrative because it's like I'm an exposed nerve ever since George Floyd, which is coming up again, the anniversary. May 25th. May 25th, by the way, is International Tap Dance Day. It will never be the same, right? And so the I honestly I feel unhinged, and I don't know how to show up in the world on socials or do the things that I used to do pre George, not pandemic, pre George Floyd, and so when I asked the artist to give me like this kind of diary, this kind of exposition of their world of how they cope, I was really asking for help for myself.
Oh, interesting. Wow. Wow.
And I'm still there. I don't know. It's one day at a time. I feel very protective. I was going to cancel, Diane. I was going to cancel this. Like I don't feel well, right? And I don't. It's not your problem. I don't want to
No, but
Luminato out on this. Is not like I don't know how to do this thing, and yeah, I don't
well,
know.
Travis, I will say thank you very much for trusting me to come and participate and be in conversation with me. And I hear absolutely everything you're saying. Like, I know far too many artists, especially artists of color and specifically Black artists and Indigenous artists, are going through the motions of compartmentalizing their day, their work, their life, just in order to get through, right?
Yeah.
Just in order to like be able to, for example, that Digital Now application through the Canada Council, reams and reams of people in my feed applied for it, right? Like I was just seeing people, and I put up a post, I was just like, oh, bless you all, congrats for even getting it in. And someone posted like, yeah, the BIPOC community should actually be given more time to get that in, because the things that they're dealing with, just even in terms of just being alive right now and like navigating how you're feeling around that, just being able to participate in life relatively, like even quasi participate in life is a huge task.
Yeah.
I know so many people who are in counseling because just, even pre-pandemic, it was a slog to get through. And in the last year, there's been a lot of work done to acknowledge the wrongs, acknowledge how exclusive and exclusionary the practices in the arts have been. But at the same time, it's a slow burn, man, right?
Yeah.
It's slow turning, and some people are going faster than others. But those folks who are going faster, we're watching them too, because are people being set up to fail? Is the big question, right? Hi. And also, are we really investing in the long term of artists, or is it just, there's this problem, here's the solution, let's throw money at it? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel very protective. I hear what you're saying, and it makes me paranoid that my skin is being used as a currency.
Yeah.
Makes me paranoid and hyper protective about that stuff, which is why I was excited to write that grant. The idea is just like that thing wrote itself. I would love to, because if I'm not in a place of trust.
Yeah.
I that pre and pandemic, that's one thing, but pre George Floyd, I had my nice barriers up. I was like, oh, I was playing the game,
Yeah.
so to speak. But after George Floyd, it was like, the analogy I've been using is when you trip and fall, but you're in your own space. You just get up, you maybe say a cuss word or two, and then you move on. But if you trip and fall in front of people, now you're embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so George Floyd. So embarrassment is not the emotion, but it's something that all Black people, or a majority of Black people, have been aware of, have known about,
Spoke about.
spoken about, created works about, but all of a sudden, a critical mass of society is now paying attention and acknowledging your suffering, your pain, and so now it's like you've seen us fall, or you've seen us on the ground, and that expositional emotion is something that um, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah.
I respect everybody's process, and I'm glad more people are on board and want to be change agents. But I don't want to join. I don't want to be currency. I don't want to be used.
Yeah.
So that, as an example, that Digital Now grant it gives me the agency to
Yeah.
make my own work for my own purposes and give it out to the greater community, to tell my own story, because there is a difference. I'm going back and watching art made about Black lives by white creators,
Yeah.
even art made by Black people, but you can see who they're speaking to, and I'm no longer interested in explaining to. I'm not interested in explaining. I'm interested in exposing who we are, uh, beauty and all, uh,
Yeah.
in an expansive way. And so, these structures that we're used to, uh, it. I'm kind of rambling. I'm all over.
No, 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 but I hear what you're saying, and that was one of the main focuses of making sure that you were one of the curators, because for those of you who don't know, Travis was part of the summer 2020 artist in residency at artist in residence at Luminato, and you were one of the folks who spoke really passionately about eldership in the community, and spoke about folk reaching back to folk roots and lineage. So in the tap world, we talked about lineage, and even within this episode of Golden Hour, everyone touches on lineage in a very specific way. Jonathan talks about the dancers who go before him, and the recognition that he got from someone who he had a workshop with years before, and this person just with words lifted him up, but that in contrast to his family lineage and how that had been broken by state violence, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Nithya talks about the lineage within her practice, and how she is not alone. Her lineage goes back generations in terms of this dance form and what she's rooted in and who she is within that line.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. And then Marcus, just with the advocacy work within his family alone. And I know that with Marcus too, there were just some really candid moments that he spoke about that are just absolutely gorgeous.
There are things about that I want to, I guess, expand upon. So folk is one, but then we'll go to lineage. We'll start with lineage, but I'm telling you, I'm going to forget. Okay, so when you watch it, Golden Hour, available now on Luminato. I don't even know, luminato.com. Find it. Type it.
It's in the description as well.
Sweet. Okay, so the order goes Marcus, Nithya, and then Jonathan. So Nithya, she's bringing the audience into the world of Bharatanatyam, the world of her practice, her lineage, the elders, all the people that gave to her. Now, because the practice is grounded in a landmass, India.
Yes.
There's a sense of groundedness and protection, and this is what it is. This is where it is. This is what it is. This is where it comes from. And so the last thing she says, this is on purpose in terms of editing, storytelling. The last thing she says is something to the effect of, it's a rich oral tradition and it'll never go away.
Yeah.
Cut to Jonathan Morin. Gone. Oral tradition gone, culture gone by state violence. Essentially, cultural genocide. What does it mean to be Canadian? So it's not. It was important to me to put those things together because there's no safety. There's responsibility, and if you find yourself charged, if an elder or someone, a mentor, has given you this information, shared themselves with you, it's a responsibility, and that's what I feel as a tap dancer, a responsibility to share that, pass it forward with integrity. So that was very important to me. Second thing, folk. The reason I'm obsessed with folk, approaching what I do, tap dance, from a folkloric perspective, is partly in terms of resistance to, I guess, Western culture, saying, this is high art. This is high art and worth more money. But guess where the party's at? It's over here where these folk are getting together. These folks,
social dance.
Thank you. These musicians and these dancers poets, visual artists are getting together and mixing and mingling and telling stories that feed your soul. I think that's worth a hell of a lot more money than what's over here. But that's playing the same game. This is better than that. No. I just want to elevate the perception of folk among the folk. You have a lot to be proud of. Wherever you come from, whoever shared themselves with you, you have a lot to be proud of. Those are the specific shoulders that you are standing on, that we are standing on.
Absolutely. You know what's really interesting too is the idea that tap is a folk tradition that, and you've touched on this in some of your podcasts before, but it's a folk tradition that has somehow felt like it's been gentrified and taken away from the Black community, and then is being reclaimed, you know, like with Savion Glover and all those folks that, you know, like they've made it cool. It's on Sesame Street. But we're also seeing the reemergence of some, especially the TikTokers, like some of the indigenous dance forms that are becoming like they're getting this critical mass of people watching and just you know, like wanting to do fancy dance and wanting to do like jinkle dress dance, and one of the things that we talked about with Jonathan was the medicinal purpose behind dance, the healing of the dance, and that he has found in this culture, in this cultural expression that is outside of himself, he has found that healing, and he's found that connection to lineage, because of the fact that it in itself, tap has been a bit gentrified, or it's been taken away and become much more open. And I think I'm coming at it very much from someone outside of it. But if you wanted to like just jam with me a little bit on the idea of that.
Two things. I think two things. So much like hip hop, yes, tap dance originates in the Black community, but it's not. I think, you know, when you said a culture that's not of himself, I hear you, but once you're initiated in the culture, that's one. That's one. Two.
Yeah.
In terms of cultural gentrification, it's much worse in regards to tap dance, because what was happening, and it starts in around 1840, is these white entertainers would go onto plantations and study Black folk, and then they would take that and create a show called minstrel shows. A minstrel show has 3 acts. We don't have to get that specific, but within the minstrel show, they're doing a caricature of what Black people did, of Black culture. After the Civil War, that caricature got a lot more contentious, and resentment was instilled inside of that play. And so after the Civil War, it just got worse. Growing up in school, I was taught about how effective propaganda was in Germany that led to Here we go. So now think back to, or imagine, directly after Civil War, you have these minstrel shows that are popping up and traveling all over the United States and Canada, and informing people of Black folk that they've really probably never met. And so this propaganda happens. And directly after, you know, the 10 or 12 years of Reconstruction, you have 100 years of violent Jim Crow segregation. Jim Crow named after a famous minstrel show song. So I'm expressing it's so ingrained within tap dance that it goes beyond gentrification. And so the question is, how, with that history, do you just say, oh, that's not me, or that was in the past? I would urge anybody within earshot to think about who they would be in 1950. You know, would you be one of the people thinking that they're doing the right thing, throwing rocks at a school bus at little Black children going into this now integrated school system, would you be one of those people? Would you be fighting? Which side would you be fighting at all? You know what's because I think the same questions are being asked of us today.
Yeah.
And so in regards to tap dance, if you have tap shoes, honestly, I kind of love you. I kind of love you. It's such a specific form. I kind of love you. But for me, in terms of honoring the people whose shoulders I am standing on, the sacrifices, the pain, the suffering, the joy, the beauty, the brilliance, the innovation. I'm trying to honest. I'm not joking. I'm not being self-deprecating. I'm trying to understand what it is, and for me, the way that the best way I think to do that is to approach it as a folk dance. Try to what this dance was to the people. And if I'm in contemporary 2021, what is this dance to the people now? And how do I integrate it in the best way possible? So I'm not, to be clear, I'm not trying to be a purist or anything like that, because I think a lot of Black culture is a part of a continuum. It never stays the same. It's not stagnant. It's constantly evolving.
It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. One of the things that I'm really conscious of is, now that everything's digital, the idea of arts coming out of and being shared with the world en masse, that the artists are the ones shaping what people think of a country. So, when I think of places like Australia, I think of some of their big movie stars, like I think Hugh Jackman, and I think, do you know what I mean? And growing up, I remember the artists coming out of Canada, the theater artists at least, because that's my background is theater, were all of these people doing really cool movement-based, tech-heavy shows. And then moving into a professional realm, getting really excited to do some of that work, and then not having access to it, right? And that is something that I'm seeing continue, like people kind of just being pigeonholed as they get outside of the institutions, the learning institutions. So that is one of the reasons we're doing this. That's one of the reasons we're doing Golden Hour, is to not only introduce artists to a larger community, but also challenge the idea of this hierarchy. Like, we're trying to, as you said in the beginning, reframe what Canadian art is, what is marketable art, and give more of a platform, and use this platform in order to expose more people to some really cool artists.
Can you rephrase marketable?
Yeah.
Or what you mean by marketable?
Well, what shows are, producer brain, what shows are affordable to produce, tour, put online, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. And even that kind of thinking, like what we can sell, is something that we have to challenge as well, myself as well.
It feels what we can sell.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't know how to say that, but I think it's a difficult era for institutions, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
There's a real democratization of art making. So things have never been this device that we're speaking on. What was it? Marshall McLuhan, the medium is the message.
The medium is the message.
The medium has just blown up anything traditional. It's you can go along and think that it's the same, but no. So this thing that we're speaking on is so revolutionary, it's ridiculous. Over the pandemic, I've been following Versus. Have you been following Versus?
I have been following Versus.
Oh my goodness gracious! Like the way. Well, when I first tuned in, it was shnikes. Oh,
was it like Erica and
before Babyface and producer. Please, I'm keeping my black card. Don't judge. Don't judge. I'm just having a brain fart. But you know what I'm saying. Versus
Yeah.
was it's a over this device. Hundreds of thousands of people tuned in and had a party together. Like I plugged it into my sound system. And I was just like, woo, having the time of my life. How much did that take to produce?
Sorry, can you repeat that last question?
How much money did that take to produce?
I know, right? I
So
know.
it's like this. It's now about, okay, is what you have to say relevant? Is it truthful? Is it honest? Does it speak to people?
Yeah.
Whereas the trap, and correct me if I'm wrong, or let's jam on the complication of it. With institutions, they have bottom lines. They're like, it's like you have, there's sell, and let's it's
Well,
so what's at the top of the food chain in terms of what's being done in the institutions? Is it the work? Is it the message? Is it figuring out what people need? Yo, we've been siloed in our home. We've been on for a year. People are sad. Listen, I'll talk about myself. I'm sad. But I'm lucky because I have a family. We just got a puppy, so I'm a bit sleep deprived. Sorry if I'm right. Oh, she's cute. She's cute as all hell. But I miss my sleep. But it's there's what I'm feeling is this need to hug strangers, like this need to connect. And this is a kind of connection, but it's that as soon as you add a new technology to something, something's taken away, right? As soon as the record player was invented, you take away live music. You understand what I'm saying? So you lose something. You have this great ability to replay your favorite song, but it doesn't compare to feeling the vibrations off of the instrument. We're back to folk, right? And so how do we respond to that? How do we reconnect to our humanness? And I feel that institutions have a tough road ahead of them in terms of reframing how they can respond to the needs of the people.
Well, I think that one of the main challenges is like just the function of art, right? Mm-hmm. Like what are we doing this for? And
right.
How essential is it? I think it's absolutely essential. I think people have been going to, Netflix and all their streaming services and their music and listening and their podcasts as the main way to cope with this isolation, which really points out how important the arts is and how we should be putting more support behind it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I totally hear you. I miss how, I know we have never met in, which is mind-blowing to me, in person, but, I am a very touch-oriented person as well. So I do hear that. And that magic that happens when you're in a room with 1,500 people and the lights go down and you all breathe together because something shocking happens on stage. That is actual, literal magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So you just reminded me, when we're allowed, I'm going to cook for you. Listen,
Ooh,
I don't know if you get down with roti. Do you get down with roti?
Oh, yes.
It's decent. I do a decent roti.
Do you make your own shells? You make your own?
Burrata, yes. Decent.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm very conscious of the time, so I'm also just inviting the folks who have joined us. If there are any questions, I would love to answer a couple of questions if anyone is open to chatting. True story.
Sorry, yeah, that's my wife. Yeah, she's like,
oh, nice.
It takes me forever, but it's all love. Yeah, let's so back to the message. Golden Hour. Thank you so much for including me in the.
You're welcome.
The artists, I couldn't be more proud of them. or obsessed. It's kind of
I know.
but I'm come with the yeah, man, yeah, Andrew, yeah, man. Um, but yeah, there's so much goodness in the episode, and
Mm.
I don't know, more to come from those artists. Look out for them. Yeah,
Absolutely.
appreciate that. Support
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, we just got a taste of their work.
Mhm.
You know, it was the most it was like just an introduction, and oh my goodness, I believe that we saw Jonathan at the beginning of a journey. You know, he is somebody who I'm going to pay close attention to, just in terms of how he is ugh, excavating all of that stuff that he brought.
You know what I miss? Once upon a time, Alison Toffin, another tap dancer
Yeah.
in Toronto. I'd say like one of the matriarchs in terms of rhythm, pushing the rhythm out to the people. So she would organize these jams weekly on Sundays, and I remember when I was able to visit, going to the jams, and John, we go around, just explain to people who aren't tap dancers. We form a circle,
Mm-hmm.
then either somebody drops a beat or presses play, and then we all jam out. Of course, because it's a percussive art form, it happens one at a time typically. So we go around the circle, we go around the circle, we go around the circle, and depending on my mood or my sense of confidence, I would position myself on the opposite side of the circle with Jonathan or
Oh,
right next to him. So here's the thing. Jonathan, his tapathetical vocabulary, he'll say something like, uh, uh, that'll make your face go,
yes.
and you have to respond to that. It's like, so there's one thing about going, and he's on the opposite side of the room, and you still got a ways to go. And there's another thing going, and then you have to say something. But that's like iron. What's the expression? Iron sharpens iron. I miss that.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
for a number of years, I trained capoeira,
Hmm.
which, for those who don't know, is a Brazilian martial art. But one of the things is that circle again, the roda, and that is about energy. It literally is folks around clapping and offering energy into the circle, and the people in the center having that conversation. Like, I'm going to do this kick, and how are you going to respond? And depending on the conversation that's happening in the middle, people from outside the circle buy in, and you have to be very conscious of the conversation that's happening because you're stepping in. It's like a debate or an argument or a friendly hello. What are you coming with? And that energy is only available in person. It's only there in person, right? And two, you have to participate.
Yeah.
Like, if you spend the whole time on the rim of the circle just offering energy, you
Mm.
actually get drained. You have to go in order to just be revived and get that energy back. It's something I'm so looking forward to once we are
Yeah.
able to join
And
the
in an
again.
increasingly secular society,
Hmm.
it is as spiritual as it gets. That circle. It's
Yeah,
bananas. You can lose yourself.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's actually a really lovely point.
Mhm.
And takes us back to ritual.
Bam.
Right? Boom,
Bam.
boom.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah,
what?
I saw this post. Uh, Thank you. Okay, so watch the yes. Listen, let's sell. Listen, everybody within earshot. I want you to go after we log off. I want you to either make an appointment with yourself or do something. But you're gonna go
Yep.
to the Luminato Festival website, and you're gonna click the link that says Golden Hour. You have until May 16th. Don't dilly dally. Don't dilly dally. Don't dawdle. Go watch this thing, and fall in love with it. I'm serious.
All
Fall
love it.
with these artists because they're incredible. And yeah, you could be. You know what? When I was like 18, I was significantly more bougie. So a part of what I would do is if the way I would determine whether or not I liked an artist was how many people were aware of them.
Oh, interesting. Yes. So you were an elitist, like,
Yeah, exactly. You just found out about so and so. Oh my! Well, I've been on the bandwagon. Yo, get on the bandwagon and support these artists. They're
yeah,
in your community, and they're beautiful.
yeah. And I am actually the exact opposite. I'm like, anyone who wants to come to the table, come to the table.
Yeah.
Like in high school, I once did a play where I said, anyone who auditioned, I'm going to write you a role, I'm going to write you a part. So I had a cast of like 16 people because I was like, you came out and auditioned for me, I will write something in for you. And that being said, I want this to introduce these artists to as many people as possible. And my hope for the future of Golden Hour is that we keep introducing more artists, more artists, more artists. Yeah.
It's a rich city. Yo,
It's
a rich.
oh, this city has so much talent in it. I actually just am like so excited.
Yeah.
Like the connections that can happen, the magic, the alchemy that can happen in this city is really beautiful.
Mhm.
Really beautiful. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a last call out for questions for anyone who has any questions of our amazing guest here, Travis Knights, or even me. And I'm totally open to answering.
As your questions, gratitude to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you for challenging me. Thank you for the artistic tussle. Thank you for allowing me to be unhinged. Yeah, it's been a lovely experience. It's been
amazing.
I've grown a lot. You know how much effort it takes for me to sit down and write a grant. You know,
Oh,
so, yeah, so the I was so fed by this process that
beautiful.
it took nothing. I was excited. I got up in the morning. My wife can attest to this. I was like, I can't be bothered.
But that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's circular. It is circular. It is, you have to feed yourself in order to put stuff out. You have to accept in order to give.
Mm.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's a tough lesson that I've learned myself. I spent I spent too many years as a grant writer for an organization. And, January, February would come around and I was just like, I'm, and I felt like I was lying half the time. And not that I was, but it was really just like regurgitating somebody else's dream and like trying to sound excited about it. Without actually being excited. But when you're in the creative process, that is what feeds you, and then you can express that. So my hope is that this series, the artist in residency, any work that I do, and meeting folks like you actually just kicks people out of that survival mode instinct, kicks people out of that headspace where it's just like, I gotta, and into, I want to, I have a dream too.
So there are two things about. I'm sorry, we're going on, but
What's okay?
You just said, or one thing about what you just said. But I just saw Rufus Wainwright joined. Big fan. Shout out to you, musical genius. Good. Second thing is the I want to. I'm not there. I need to, and that's where the emotions get involved. Where I feel unwell because I've put myself. Maybe you can help. I've put myself in this position, or I'm just in this position where there's a lot of things that need to be done in the world.
Yes.
I contribute. I have a very specific skill set. I need to get better at that skill set. In the meantime, I want to share. I want to help. I want to contribute positively to my community. So in the work that I'm engaged in and putting out and researching, it's all difficult and painful and here that I've put myself in a corner. And I remember once upon a time tap dance used to be fun.
Yeah.
Now there's so much riding on it. There's so much riding on a very specific storytelling and messaging and it's important to me, and I think back to the courage of uh, the leaders of the past that died doing the work, that were murdered doing the work. And so my in contrast, mild discomfort with my current emotional state is it's laughable compared to what they went through for centuries. And so yeah, I think for the next little while, it would be wise for me to focus on figuring out how to um, maintain good mental health so that I can do the work and contribute.
That's actually huge. That's huge. That is huge.
It's a question. I have no answers, but
But that is the answer. We need to take care of ourselves. One of the things that I came away with in the last few years, especially in the last year, having led the artists in residence, is that just our survival and our ability to still be practicing when there are so many things in place to take us out of this profession, of being professionals, being paid, having families, buying homes. There's so many things in place to not support. And I am here strictly because I'm stubborn. Like I've spent my days sleeping on people's couches, but I'm also finding that when I'm in a position to pay it forward, I pay it forward, and I just take things one day at a time, because quite honestly, to see the vastness of the issue, the hugeness, and like feel the weight of that pressure of being an elder, essentially, right? Might make you stop. So I encourage you to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage other artists to like make sure that you're healthy, make sure that you're feeding yourselves artistically, creatively, health-wise. Make sure that you're you know, going for your walks. I'm tapping myself for that one. And the fact that we're still around and we will continue to do the work is the work. Do the work. It doesn't have to be, not everything has to be big and spectacular, but the fact that we're still doing the work, it will come. It will come. It will come.
I dig it.
Yeah, and there's so many talented people in the city. It's not even about talent. It's about discipline and skill.
Friend of mine,
talent. Yeah.
Dana asked earlier, when's the next golden hour? What's up? What's up?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give the people a preview?
So not a preview yet, but we're in pre-production for the next golden hour, and we're planning to launch it for June. So some people might have seen the press release, but we're pushing the June festival to the fall, but we still will have programming in June. So, you know, keep an eye out on our Luminato website and on our socials, and more information will come in the next few weeks about all of that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Keep on pushing. Very good. Das ist gut. Das ist gut.
Das ist good.
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm going to say thank you very much again, Travis, for joining us. Thank you, everyone who stayed on the call with us and helped, you know, just with the waves and the support and the lovely comments. Thank you very, very much for joining us. If you have not watched the Golden Hour yet, please access it through our website. It is on the Neem platform. You have until May 16th to watch it. Please pass it along if you enjoy it. Let others know about it. It is totally suitable for children. It's actually a lovely family piece. My sister and her family watched it last week. Just leave you guys with a, you know, I hope the weekend is sunny for all of you, depending on where you are. And thank you. I'm going to sign off now.
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
Much love, best respect. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Much love to all of you. Mr. Wainwright, if you ever need a tap dancer, you know who to call. Peace and love.
Nice. Nicely done. Thank you, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.